Glory be to Jah Prince Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, and the Gentiles nation of Ethiopia. Bless up all the sisterins, the infants, and the brethren who are wearing a crown of pure gold. And I is speaking of this thing that Babylon refer to as hair first and then refer to as locks when it look like this. All Gentiles, daughters and sons, I, Joshua Christ, is here to tell I people that this is a crown of pure gold. And there's a scripture in the book of life. In that scripture, it describes those who will be crowned with a crown of pure gold. And it also describes them as being washed clean of the tradition that they decided to trod while they were going through Babylon. And the other protection or the other gift there for all the gold crowners. Because this is not Rasta, you know. This is the moment of the prophet and the prophetess, the mother and the father, the goddess and the god, the empress and the lord. None of thy enemy shall come nigh thee, for Il Selassie I, the earth, the air, the water, the creation and the preservation of all life, shall make the enemy of his prophets and her prophets and saints I footstool. So as we trod along on the road of truth and revelation, we will find those who oppose, because the truth at this time had opposition before that truth came about in this time. Opposition have been waiting for the truth in the same way that men and people it is much love and it is also much thanks to reveal to I people that I, Joshua Christ, have discovered that a color could not define a nation. And a place built and created for I people who was taken from their homeland could not be a place that represent I people or our nation. 99%, or let's put it at 85%. Let's say 85% of the River Nile runs through the land where I people comes from. Any land that has 85% of the River Nile going through that land could not see famine. Because the River Nile is the largest river on the face of the earth. So when there was famine in the place that they're trying to convince our people that this is our land, we should know from then that our people is in the wrong place. And when we saw that the lands which call themselves Africa is ruled by the gun and the bombs and brute force and death and murder and the same alligator rulers, beatings, everything, we should know that those soldiers and police in Africa are owned by the people who authorized them to guard the Gentiles who believe that they're Africans there. Now, where and how could we find our ancestry without being connected to people who we know that is our aunts and our uncles and our cousins that live in this land? Why would anybody owns anyone when they know that the system have a test tube baby production going on and sperm banks back in the days? So everybody's wondering, how come Africa got so much people? Because those people, you think the homeless man just became homeless? No, he was born in a test tube baby bank, raised in a foster home, and then let go on the streets if you don't have the qualification that they need. Soldiers, police, government workers, those people are raised because they can use them to infiltrate their own people. So I couldn't claim the land that is called Africa. Neither could I claim the nation Africa. Why? Because Babylon loves the word, and Babylon is always trying to direct the people who look like me to that place, and then trying to get us out of the place where there has never been any famine. Now, the land known as America, Jamaica, all the way to the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Colombia, all those lands, if you can remember, Columbus came, he took some of our lands, he killed those people. He drove all that he could drive out and drove them all back to Haiti. So the people that you see in Haiti, there was the one living in the Dominican Republic, there was the one living in Puerto Rico, there was the one living in Colombia, and there were the one living in Cuba. So when you saw Castro having Cuba as a communist country, that was a breeding and a replacing process going on there. Because if you look at the man, he's a military leader just like Adolf Hitler. So every military leader that you see that rules in a uniform, their role model is Adolf Hitler, whether their complexion is of dark skin or of a light skin. Because that is the only true military leader that anyone can say, well, that's the man that did it. Just like how the karate people, they will meditate Bruce Lee. That's the Bruce Lee of military leadership and leadership at the same time. So even if you look in America today, there are swastika army bases, there are Nazis walking the streets, there are racial attack on Jews, synagogues, church. So it goes to tell you that The war that Germany fought, part of that war was a hoax to kill original American soldiers, to take them out of their countries. And even the wars that are fighting abroad right now, every American soldier right now is held hostage if he's not in America fighting. Because when he's out there, he's going to come back to a new general that comes from a country that he don't even know. That man didn't even go through the American army. He came trained from another country, and that man is going to send him to death. There's no soldiers that die in the American army that are not full-blooded American, even if they're from another country. So they did not die because of no accidents. No, none of those. No plane load of soldiers die before. I mean, soldiers are trained to jump out in parachutes and stuff like that. And if you notice most of the tragedies of soldiers, you can tell that those soldiers didn't stand a chance. Either they were drugged or already dead. And we have to understand that we are governed by a body called the CIA, where that CIA brought in cocaine in America just to destabilize the country. So the CIA could not be an American organization, because no American organization or no country organization that is for the people will do nothing like that. So people should know that was an attack on the country. So all the American soldiers need to come home. And this is not a joke, because America is under siege. Now, the topic today now is we want to figure out where the Rasta man play in this. Yeah. And the reason for Joshua Christ, want to know the role that the Rasta man play in the betrayal of our people is because I am beginning to see that man in that same army suit. And there's no way that man could have got to that stage in his mind just by looking at the television, because there's a lot of other people out there that's not putting on them type of suits. I wouldn't do it. A lot of other men, a lot of women, and a lot of children wouldn't do it, because not everybody has a mind of brutality. When I was a younger man, a friend of mine named Delroy was in a betting shop. Now, a betting shop in Jamaica is a place where it's a place where you gotta go buy you go bet on racehorse. So I brethren, now that was a primary stage, went to one of those betting shop, cause back in the days, you know, little picnic can go a shop at Jamaica go buy all liquor. Used to go all a dance and me and picnic, and me have all my beer stand up in there drink, and nobody never business with I. But them time they never know say Babylon have a plan for inoculate I from a young to say Wallow and Wim can turn in a junk. So I think everything cool. So I was a little boy on my station and have all my beer and drink, and I go on like me a big man and yeah, and burn on my spliff and red. Yeah, man. And in that betting shop, gunman come rob it. A gunman named Natty Chris. Yeah, he's a Rasta from jungle. In a General Starkey time, and them man there. Because when you check out most of the man them back in the days, all of the gunman them was Rasta. If you look on Bob Marley Peace Concert, the gunman them were up on the stage, most of them was Rasta who wasn't Rasta by locks. Them was Rasta by them heart, because you have some heart Rasta out there were different from the Rasta with the locks. Yeah, man, I don't know enough of them Rasta there too. And Natty Chris and him friend them had everybody upon the ground. And Delrise, I look at primary school youth and him lay down upon the ground and thing. But him afraid because if he might have beat fast and him a tremble. Then him look around. So he's scared. And Natty Chris just rest at M16. And him look at face and bust it. Well, I flat out him forward, man, because I go up there go look on it, man. I tell the eye them straight up, you know. Well, I'm funeral to my school brethren and thing, and I'm in all my class too. So, I go on funeral, because I saw the thing set up. And then, that incident, you know, make I vex with Rasta, you know. And when I tell you, say I vex with Rasta with such a way that it's like I feel like I hate Rasta, you know, brethren. Because me I say to myself, oh, a Rasta man come kill my school brethren, we now go see him back in a car. Hey, a man if you over say them things they're supposed to hurt as youth and all the man them out there where I kill Pitney and I rape Pitney, you know. You have to go face on the time one of them day and the police station or the prison car. The police station and the prison time I hit a cause the criminal them, you know. Yeah man, because from a man commit a crime in the neighborhood, we if deal with them. And on a jungle justice, this I mean on top, but we're gonna run down upon him and chop him up. Nothing like that. Me I talk about we have some sensible people who over said this brethren here rape off this little girl. So we cut off him bumbuckler toad. And that case they close. Next case. That big old man here sodomize some little Pitney. So we sew up for our pussy. Case closed. Simple. That brethren here go thief the people them things 3 times already and we talk to him. Alright? So we just make sure say like how him can't control himself, we introduce him to the word of creation. If you're right and offend you, see one cutlass here. Take it off. And it better that way there, whether a man want to believe it or not. Because a case they close and justice is served. And a man that said then Joshua violence that you speak just like how the Rasta man them. But love no meet with love. Mercy meet with mercy. Hate a go meet with hate and grudge a go meet with grudge. So if you're looking carefully, then you will see that the man, that violence have been attacking from a youth. Have gotten up, stood up, not for his rights, but for the rights of I and I people. Alright, we have our next brethren now named Ken, them call him Braveheart. Next Rasta brethren, pure, bless up the chalice and talk humble and all type of different thing. Alright. A brethren show I say is a military intelligence unit officer in Jamaica. He was one of the few them that went to Cuba with Ernest Buffy Johnson them back in the days from Rona Pitua Road. And that was the duty where them it give him. That means him now did come back as an infam amongst him brethren them and them never know. So just as how them get a group of brethren and put them together, them put some informer among them. And then pay those man different. So that is an Rasta. General Starkey. Rasta. Now this is General Starkey history. One history. Him driving bike when I was a youth. This is the history in the neighborhood, because every murderer or every superhero have something about them as far as where their history is concerned. So General Starkey driving bike, pick up a young girl in a Tivoli, carry her go a jungle with him, and one time him let her go, she have a picnic named Tanto. Alright? Massive Dread. I sing about Massive Dread. Massive Dread is an artist where at some point him and Meadow Gang became hero leader and Washi Dread became hero leader for Trenchtown. Massive Dread was saying, this is massive and I'm attractive, also wonderful, also beautiful. Well, gunman killed him at Trenchtown. After him have 2 gunmen a guard him. So it's like one lick down Massive Dread and then him gone at Tivoli. I remember, you know, this is a Rasta life, you know. And Massive Dread take over right after Meadow Gang dead. And come dead after Meadow Gang, and then Washi Dread take over. Pure Rasta, you know. I take over the gun rule of Trenchtown when Rasta was supposed to bring peace to the heart of the people of Trenchtown by holding the tabernacle and the Nyabingi order. But through the people them go accept from Rastas, say the man of the police uniform with the gun and the sword is Rasta God. Not even the people them now couldn't come back accept the humbleness from Rasta, because the people them say no, there is no humbleness within Rasta nor among Rasta. Because even I was shocked when I found out that Paul Elliott was sleeping with another Rastaman woman. And I was even more shocked when I heard that Earthquake was sleeping with another Rastaman wife. And I was even more shocked when I heard that that Rastaman stabbed to death and nobody don't know who killed him. Right after Earthquake there with his wife. No. But remember the incident now with the incursion in Tivoli Gardens. There was a place in the back called Rasta City, you know. And those guys in Rasta City was leaving from Bobo Hill to Tivoli and from Tivoli back to Bobo Hill, because today, you know, Bobo is getting killed in Bobo Hill and all about, and they don't understand that it was their involvement and their current involvement with the gunmen and the men who are criminals in Jamaica, like the reggae artists especially. Because one thing I can tell you about the Bobo Shanti priests who are wolf in sheep clothing, they stay at the reggae people them place. They stay there. Because they don't have nothing to do with the Nyabingi. Ask anybody if there ever been a Nyabingi that has more or half the crowd of a reggae concert. Reggae killed Nyabingi because Rastas killed Nyabingi. Nyabingi did not belong to Rasta. That is a lie. It is reggae that belonged to Rasta. Nyabingi belonged to us Gentiles. That is our original music, and that's why the Rasta man have the Nyabingi drum today playing at funerals. Because he know exactly what he's doing. He's trying to reverse the order that our ancients set, because first of all, our order has nothing to do with death, only life. So the Rasta man, I come now to seek redemption for everyone that you have killed from I and I Gentiles nation. And I have proof beyond a reasonable doubt that you are an infiltrator. And I have proof beyond a reasonable doubt that you honor no one who is of a darker skin, because your God is white. And remember, you know, Sizzler came out and sing, say him no want no white God. But him take a white God without a blue eye and a straight ear. Him take a Arab who is still a white man. Him no want a God will look like him. He want a God will have the spirit will inside of him. So the people who connected to these gods, you know, when you hear them say God make you in his own likeness, nobody business with no likeness at this hour. They only want to know what the power that God have and the power and the things that God can do that is of no good. Because God is not for righteousness anymore to fight your neighbor now. Simple. Because Christian is saying the blood of whoever is on you. And then Rastas is saying, just soon deal with you. Or leave everything to Jah. Blessed love to I and I brother Jah Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards and the Gentile nation. So we go down now to Jacure. Jacure charged for rape, and in the grapevine, it was him and some more brethren and girls go somewhere and him alone get catch. So in the grapevine now them it say, it was Capleton them who keep Jacure at jail. So them say. Because them say it was them a strengthen the girl to stay upon him. Alright, him gonna do him time and him come. Him go down on the next place now, go cut up on Rasta man, cut out him belly. Rasta, you know, because the next man say him a Rasta. Alright, when him come from jail, my argument come now, so Sizzler kicking in bottom. Then we see same Sizzler and him friend them attack Norris man and some other little thing. Luciano now, police them say, them believe say midnight the house a shoot off of them too. When them kill the man named Senior in a female house. Junior Reader drive with Hugh Mundell. Him say gunshot fire over film side, him duck Hugh Mundell dead. The man in him say I go to Peter Tosh yard, in car broke down and run out of gas, him couldn't go Peter Tosh dead. Then Sam say him say a man a favor Junior Reed or Michael Rose pull up on Chisholm Avenue the morning when Lepo pull up and left with the bag. That means say Lepo left with the gun them or the money. So it gets for sure you now say if it wasn't Junior Reed and Michael Rose, based on what Sam say, and if it wasn't Michael Rose or Junior Reed, because Sam say the uncle them two man they did have that type of car there at Jamaica. And he couldn't pinpoint a which one. And him described the car as a Mercedes Benz. Convertible. So that's that I say. Then Profile rejoiced when he hears Sir Peter Tosh dead. And next Rasta man that dressed in a pure military clothes. Is the Rasta organization, the military intelligence unit, used to infiltrate the neighborhoods in Jamaica and all over the world and return forward to the government. Because Rasta has proven to be no different from the alligators, ruler who attack and kill and imprison our people today dressed in uniforms of brutality. China Smith run down Emmanuel with Cutlass, many more, man. Because I tell you, say I grow on a China Smith and I sing a tune. I get a tune where I say, from me was a youth, me didn't know a long time. From me was a youth, me didn't know me I got on gunman. Long time. From me was a youth, me didn't know me I got on gunman. Long time. From me was a youth, them did have me involved in a crime. From me was a youth, them did have me in all kind of crime. When election come, I see enough man lose their life. When election come, I see enough man lose their life. If you live a jungle and vote GLP, you lose your life. And if you live a Rima and vote PMP, you lose your life. And when the virgin here I chant this song, the virgin just come down panay and say, yo, me don't want them song to chant in my yard, me don't want a man with him sadness and this, that and. I mean I said to him, say, virgin, the man them who did bear the pain and they get, yo, me don't want a blood clot man come tell me if you go on in my yard. And remember, I know he's a musician, you know. But he might tell you which inspiration you must carry in, because him no want no inspiration where I got talk against the people them who did put him in the position, you know, because them man you so alright, it's a musician them want to see a Jamaica, most of them come from some boys home, you know. And whether I don't want to accept it or not, Babylon it fuck them from them young. So you think Sir Gregory Isaac and Dennis Brown could have just come live pan cokes until then dead? As things they have on their mind, Dennis Brown sing a song with talk about in young and gay. And some people they even overstand said musician full of subliminal messages. And remember, you know, a man only do want to make some money and Babylon fuck him. Yeah, man, hey. And a normal thing when a man even can meditate in himself, you know, man, and know say him have the real spirit of a batty man, you know, but a man it come inside a film bottom, you know. Because hey, if a man even reason with a woman right now, you know, when a man shoot off in a woman, she feel one warmness in her body, like, you know. So me know say if a man shoot off in a man right now, him blood supposed to run cold, brethren. And a warmness couldn't do that so. Unless I held them there close to. So the brethren them will go through them thing there forward. Especially the one them under the locks. They hide them for comfort, man. And just show the next youth them we have a fall in that trap there. So here what? The man them will run the thing a pure vampire, you know. Them have to suck out your blood first, you know. Yes, I am. And when you even look on the virgin named Luciana, appear military attire, same way. And notice, you know, wanted man killing this man house and him pardon Ziggy Marley on an investigation for how much weapons find a Sizzler place, them pardon. That means Babylon them a work for I can't nobody else, because remember say all of the youth them run them a suffer, you know. And nothing on do them, you know. It's just the people them picking them where they run them a suffer. Notice that them are dead, that them are go to jail. Nothing is like these men are sacrificing people. Because hey, remember say Grammy dead, you know. Junior Reid brother. And if sacrificing and go on in a music where man a sacrifice them family to be big, it means say now, in a sense, it means say it must start from the Caribbean countries them first. Because alright, that's how the real puppets them were there for the people and play with them life and nobody couldn't do nothing about it. Because where else the first set of stolen people would have come from but the place were named Africa and the Caribbean countries them where the dark skinned people them who identify as black and poor live. Alright? Years ago now, them introduced the Rasta police in Great Britain. Then in Jamaica, there's a football match named Rasta versus Her. Then again now, there's a place called House of Dread. If you look at the land that house is on, that piece of House of Dread property is on, you can tell that piece of House of Dread property belongs to Upper Camp or the government. And those men been there for a long time, and most of those men are dressed in military wear. So my only conclusion is, before I leave this live, Rastas are the secret force of Babylon. They only come speak out against Babylon only because they come with smooth word and drawn sword for us as people to trust them. Because if you look at the life of the Rasta man and Rasta woman today, remember, you know, Data Mitzi and Janine, Queen Ifrica, said on YouTube that they were caught sucking each other pussy on the bingy while the bingy was happening. And that is not no normal thing. And I think Data Mitzi have some sort of connection to Fred Locks, or Fred Locks' sister, because I always see both of them together. Rita Marley, Sharon Marley's daughter, she was caught on tape with some threesome going on, 2 women and 1 man or something. Some sex tape. And I'm pretty sure that there was money made off of that. There was another Rasta sister. She is the president for one of the women movements in Jamaica, the Rasta woman movement. And she went to the university to have an abortion, and she died right there. So the judgment of man is sure, and that's what I, Joshua Christ, say. All captive is to set free. No bondage on our brains, no shackles or no chains, free traveling, free waterway from Cairo to Cape. This is a warning to you, because no wicked shall never escape. Now the brethren and sisters, them who are following the Rastas, them to Africa, I am telling you, claim back your place in Jamaica. I am telling you this. That is where, if you was born there, that is where you are from. Plain and simple. Now some people is going to say, he's not a fool. He already saw that Christopher Columbus came there and discovered that place in a lie. So there's no way no Spanish people could be nowhere in the Caribbean unless they came with Christopher Columbus. Now what did they do with those people that was on those land? Death and the place named Africa. So the slave trade wasn't moving the people from Africa, brethren. It was moving them there. That is the real slave trade. Marcus Garvey says 7 miles of black style and are coming into Harbour. He didn't say 7 miles of black style and are going out to Harbour. Now, I want everyone to pay attention to the temperament of Anthony B. and Turbulence, who are calling themselves the Defenders. Now, there's a video out with those 2 guys where there is nothing but guns and a rifle, you know, in a time when, keep in mind, you know, the first attack was Pinnacle in 1950 something, I believe. Now, Pinnacle was attacked because there was an ex-soldier from America who went there to join the guys who wasn't Rasta, you know, because the Rastas came with books and doctrines, you know. That's how Rasta came to Jamaica. I don't ask anybody, but there was always locks. There was always a crown of pure gold on the man them head. So when you look in the audience of the man them who came to see this man named Rastafari, you can tell that those men wasn't from no city life. Those men was coerced by agents like Mortimer Planner, and I think also Muta Baruka is an agent too, just the same. Because there's no way this man could have a voice, and he have never even tried to find out who killed none of these great prophets who we call brothers. Now, this is the same man, you know, where Sister Ita told I that he wouldn't even give Ma and Pa a ride because he don't let every or any kind of people ride in his vehicle. And then he probably had a Prado, I think. So it goes to show you that these people will ride on the back of the original people and then create something. So they came out of us and they rose up against us. So that's what Rastas are. Rastas came out of us Gentiles and then they rose up against us. Now, when we look at the George Floyd and look at even the bingies that are kept around the world, there is no bingy that is kept in memory of nobody that have been done any injustice, you know. Like they say, well, this is a bingy in the commemoration of George Floyd and everybody come there, you know, wearing George Floyd t-shirts. Or no, none of those things don't happen. They'll rather go to George Floyd's funeral and play, only for publicity, just like what Ras Ivy and his family did at Cocotte funeral. And Ras Ivy, that's our next man. He's an army suit man, that too. Most definitely. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time I was in Augustown, Brother Campbell told me that Ras Carver went to jail for having sex with a little girl. And this is not a joke, because I'm in Bobo Hill and preacher is saying that he wants a 15-year-old girl and preacher is 65. And then he tried to justify it by telling me about a scripture in the Bible where God told a man to have a child with a young girl. But I tell him, God didn't tell you nothing. That's that brethren tried, you try to steal, and God said, do not covet your neighbor. If that's it, so you cannot covet the man tried either. That's just the bottom line. Simple as that. And when you look at even Bunny Wailer, baby mothers them, you can see that most of them are at age where they can be his child. And enough of the Rasta man. So they come and they change the pathway of children. They don't come to be parents to every child, father and mother. They come with the same Babylon thing for come fuck the little pitney them same way and suck them and have them and fuck them and suck them same way. There's no way you could not be Babylon and have the same ways as Babylon, because I and I did come to teach the children not to fuck them brethren. And the Rasta man who is calling himself the teacher and the Rasta woman who is calling herself the teacher, who are no fuck off the children them. Alright? I and I have a prophecy. And this prophecy it named the Asian spirit. Yeah. Alright. Give thanks. Tonight, I want all my Asian spirit, them get around me. Spiritual Asian from Asian time. Speak to and I mind. This voice is not even afraid to repeat what them speak. Asian Ethiopian have some question, we want some answer for them today. Asian Ethiopia. Lorena Thompson and Shreen Clarendon. 44 in 2 weeks in West Kingston. 7 them kill over Brighton. Homeless them dump out of Montego Bay. Hey, yeah. Babylon release the chain. Psychologize my people and brain. Unleash the pain. Hey. How did the gun get in my father's ways? Who introduced my nation to cocaine? Who teach my brother to blow the other one's brain? How does a mother have children with no food to eat? How come they don't live no place? Wise children, woman, man, animal, everyone dying in your streets. Yeah. When you hear me, Asian spirit, them I speak. Uncontrollable tongues. Worldwide. If you have any involvement in Ethiopian suffering or bleed, I'm asking you to stop today. Your judgment that got tall even after you're gone. Children will bear your grandchildren, great-grands. When you listen what Joshua said. Remember the spirit soft nanny. Some sharp all bogle cudger. Remember Empress Men and I them stand up for I and I. So I can talk to you. True. Hey, all you do is create wars everywhere. Bomb women and children, animals and everything that God creates. You make weapons of mass destruction. Ooh. Mass weeping, mass mourning, mass dying, mass lying. I was have an explanation of my people them bleed. Ooh, hey, yeah. yeah. Every day got to just pure murder. Man over there so can't stop we. She witness her son shot down, died down. I transport on the streets, him lie down. Ever can bleed, him die down. Even though I'm gone, she know I have no one to say. Mama, I love you, through you. Hey, look what them did to tyrannicals the other day. That them would try to blow George Pang brains. Yeah. Babylon, you release the chains. Psychologize my people and brains. You unleash your pain. Hey. Hey, yeah. Hey. Hey, yeah. Oh, Babylon. Glory be to I and I mother and I father and I brothers and I sisters, I sons and I daughters, and to the holy ones of creation. As Il Selassie I was in the beginning, is no one ever shall be. Il Selassie I world without end. Il and I goddess, Il and I God, Il Selassie I. Ever living goddess, ever living God, Il Selassie I. Ever sure goddess, ever sure God, Il Selassie I. Ever faithful goddess, ever faithful God, Il Selassie is the Almighty. Il Selassie, you seated in Ethiopia and reign in the hearts of all flesh, O the Most High, eternal Mother and Father, Il Selassie I. Here and I, Joshua Christ, bless I, keep I, and sanctify I. Cause I holy face you shine upon I and I, children and grandchildren, I vines and I fig tree, I generation, I loved ones and I dwelling places. Save and redeem us all from all harmful plot, false association and untimely deaths. Sodom and Gomorrah, molestations and captivity, deceitful tongues and framework, propaganda, scorn and shame and blame and gnashing of teeth, smacking and jeering, iniquities and plagues and sores of sickness of long continuance and even longer continuance, O the Most High Goddess, O the Most High God, Il Selassie I, Selah.